Hi, my name's Kelsey Lathrop. I'm marketing lead at Printcom. I'm joined today by Steve Naughton, campaign architect at Printcom. Steve, how's it going?
Fabulous. How are you, Kelsey?
Great. Today we're actually going to talk about increasing participation with franchisees. So one of the first things I wanted to ask you is what factors actually influence franchisee participation in direct mail programs?
Sure. So a lot of factors here. I don't think that that's necessarily as easy of a question to answer as it sounds, right? A lot of it has to do with your franchisee group and your corporate, team. Many other factors too. But on a high level, we'll try to answer that one. The big one that I see all the time is, has the program been properly tested and proven inside of the network, right? I see too many times marketing programs in general, not just direct mail, email, Facebook, whatever it may be, these franchise organizations just kind of trotting out a new program that hasn't been properly tested or vetted and just kind of expecting, their franchisees to jump on board and do the testing as part of that. And that's just really not a recipe for success that we've seen. The second point I'd like to make there is it easy to execute? Because if it's not, they're not going to do it. We actually cut our teeth in complex direct mail 8 million years ago in auto service reminder work, and since then we've done several dealership models, insurance models, franchisee models, all that have channel partners that sell their product for them. And every single one of those businesses, franchises, dealerships, insurance agents, everybody, if it's not easy to do, it's not going to be done. Too many times we've seen people want to do what their business is, right? So in the case of a franchise organization that sells frozen yogurt, they want to sell frozen yogurt. That's what they want to do with their life. And in a motorsports dealership, they want to sell motorsports equipment. They don't want to focus on marketing. Many of these people are not geared toward marketing results. And so asking them to, commit minutes, hours, days, whatever to a program, if it's not easy, they're just not going to do it. And then third, and probably the most important is it easy to understand and digest, right? Do they understand what they're spending their money on and what they can expect as a return? So those are kind of the big three for me.
That makes sense. And from a marketing standpoint, making it easy for people to understand is huge. That,
Massive.
They understand
Massive.
what they're getting out of it and how it works. It's a large.
And if I could segue real quick before we jump into our next question, because something you just said brought this to note for me. It is so important to remember that most franchisees in any system do not have a marketing orientation, right? They are not marketers, and that's okay. They are small business owners. So they're being asked to do accounting and, sales and everything else, right? Marketing is one small piece of that equation. So unless you make it easy and you make it understandable, you're not going to get there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, how do response rates for direct mail compare to other marketing channels that franchises utilize? Because, a lot of them have a choice, do I spend my marketing bucks here or here? So how does that compare?
Sure. So I'm going to bang on the same drum again and say it depends. But we do have some data that, kind of supports the cause for direct mail. Oracle published a really cool study back in 2019, and I got a couple other stats that I'm going to throw at you here. Their research shows that customers spend 25% more on average when direct mail was used in combination with another channel, right? So you've got your email going already, you add direct mail to it, you can expect about a 25% lift in spend. And then the second one, which I think is, equally or more strong, is marketing campaigns that use direct mail in addition to at least one form of digital marketing media experienced a 118% lift in response, which is massive, right? Over double in comparison to using digital only, right? So you're using your fetchback, you're using your, Facebook, you're using your email, that's great. But, if you add direct mail, that physical touch to it, it can make a huge difference for your organization. So a couple cool stats I figured I'd throw at you.
Absolutely. And Steve, just bouncing off that, one thing I've heard before is sending a direct mail item, whether it's a postcard or something like that, is like getting 100% open rate on email. They're going to go to the mail. They're going to at least see your piece.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I think that, maybe a better topic for another video, because we could really take a deep dive on it, is the process that you're using to write your offer and your creative on direct mail quick and easy to digest. Because a lot of folks, just being candid, we work in the direct mail business. We don't hide from the fact that some folks sort their mail over the garbage can, right? How do you keep yours from landing in it, right? Are you putting way too much information and, a complicated offer or a not so good offer on your piece, right? All of those things to consider. So yeah, getting off on a tangent there on you, Kelsey, but absolutely a concern. And, direct mail can be a silver bullet, and is a silver bullet for a lot of our, companies that we help, if done appropriately and effectively. So.
Yeah, makes sense. Now, Steve, let's say company says, yes, we want to offer this. What should they do before offering a new program to their franchisees to help make sure people jump on board once they do launch the program?
Sure. So if you called into Printcom today and got me individually outside of a video environment and asked me that question, you would hear me say the same word 100 times, and that's test, 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 right? You have to test. You have to prove what you're trying to do works before you can expect anyone to pick it up and use it, right? We said it earlier, and I don't mean to harp on this, but these people are small business owners. These are not folks that necessarily have a marketing mind, though some of them may, but most of them probably don't. And many or all have limited marketing budgets. They don't want to be early adopters. They don't want to be the people that are, testing this and trying to figure it out. So you may need to throw some corporate, funded marketing dollars at it, or, some co-op dollars if that's how your organization is structured, or any number of ways. But it is so abundantly important to properly test and prove the concept before you ever expect to roll it out to your franchise network. Something we say all the time, and it's not unique to us. I'm not going to act like we should patent the saying, but committing to really developing case study data and marketing the marketing is something that brands of all shapes and sizes need to do ahead of time too. That's training lit, that's webinars, that's, any kind of training piece that you have, or weekly or monthly communication you have with your franchisees. Or even once, we get past this COVID stuff at your annual conference, if you host one of those, committing some time to talking about this and, vetting this process out and educating your folks on what's available, what they can expect. Because understanding what and where expectations should be is equally important in all this, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, in kind of jumping off launching programs, what types of direct mail programs are franchises seeing results from?
Yeah, so kind of all over the place here, right? It kind of depends, and I say it depends again, right? I think I'm 4 for 4 answering a question that way today. But it really does depend on the organization, right? If you're really going for a sales driven piece, right? A piece that's attracting some sales dollars on the back end, something like a new customer acquisition or loyalty retention could possibly be good fits for you. But there are others that are just basically trying to drive store traffic that turn into dollars, right? There's others we've seen and that we help folks with that are like new product or service offerings, right? Some of the others that can be effective are like new lapsed customer win back, right? Have they not been in the store in several months or a year or something? And are we trying to grab them back that way? And then by far, one of the most effective uses of direct mail that we help folks with is new store openings. Getting that word out initially into local markets and, helping folks drive sales that way.
Okay, that's great. And jumping off that a little bit too, Steve, one of the things that you've seen, I'm sure I've seen and heard about as well with Printcom, is that it has to do with the data you have available.
Absolutely.
That makes a huge difference on not only which campaigns you can run, but how effective they'll be.
Yeah. So, I mean, in marketing in 2020 is vastly different than it was even 2 years ago, right? It is so abundantly important that you're using all of your tools at your discretion, right? If you're kind of taking the easy way out or not analyzing, what you have from a demographic, psychographic standpoint, you're only hurting yourself, right? You're only spending dollars in a way that, could be improved. So direct mail, we won't hide. I'll never hide from the fact that direct mail is an expensive medium. It is, but it's highly effective if done appropriately and, given real thought to on the front end.
Awesome. Well, Steve, thank you so much for taking the time to answer some of these questions. If someone wants to get a hold of you, if they want to talk more about this and how to get their franchisees involved, how can they reach you?
Sure. So email is just snaughton@printcom.com, or feel free to give us a buzz at the office, 810-239-5763. Our website should be down at the bottom there. It's www.printcom.com. Thank you so much for having me, Kelsey. Really appreciate the time. And if anybody wants to chat in more depth about anything, just give us a buzz. Happy to chat.
Awesome. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you. Have a great day.